Hello everybody, how are you doing? Welcome back to City Unplugged, your very own Man City fan channel. It's that time of the year where it's all tense. I know the Champions League game was tense, but it's those months, March, April, where I think as a fan you need to feel privileged that if you feel tense actually, because it means the team is competing for titles. And with the performance that Arsenal put in against Chelsea, Wolves first, and then Chelsea, it means that we have to. It's up to us now. We have to win all our games. I mean, I have a feeling in this title race that we need to win it out. If City have to get anything from it, we need to win all of our remaining matches. Bayaji is here. Hey, Bayaji, how are you doing? How are you feeling tonight, Bayaji, about the match? Bayaji says Brighton looks a depleted squad right now. Just get the job done. It's just about getting the job done, Bayaji. Alvarez is here. Come on, City. Yes, that's what we hope. But yeah, Bayaji, it's just about getting the job done at this point of time. But are you a little bit concerned about the goal difference? I mean, would you go for would you look to cover up that goal difference as well, or do you go on the notion that if we win out, we win the league? Do you go like that, or do you think just for precaution we need to cover up that goal difference? It's plus 10, I believe, or plus. I think it's somewhere around plus 10 or plus 12. Bayaji says, but first and foremost, damn you, Cole Palmer FC. What the hell was that? But there was no Cole Palmer in it there, right, Bayaji? That was the thing. A friend of mine felt very bad that Cole Palmer didn't play because he had Cole Palmer in his fantasy league and he was absolutely frustrated that Cole Palmer didn't play against Arsenal. But anyway, that Chelsea team is just you know what Arsenal did there against Chelsea. I observed they sat back on the counter attack. They sat back and then gave Chelsea the counter attack. And Nicholas Jackson missed sitters as well against Arsenal. So all in all, I thought Chelsea had chances. It's just that Nicholas Jackson didn't take them. The squad is also interesting, guys. Actually, because Stones and Diaz are on the bench, and Ake and Akanji are starting. I think it's a sign. Diaz on the bench is a sign. It's not an injury or a precautionary thing. If I missed something from Pep's pre-match interview, I don't know, but I think Diaz is set to be on the bench for long. I do not see Diaz maybe starting the other games. I think he'll go with Ake and Akenji. Maybe even John Stones. I don't see John Stones starting actually because both of them have not been in good form. You might say injuries and stuff to Stones, but I think I see Ake and Akenji starting majority of games unless they have a stinker today. Arush is here. Hey Arush, how are you doing? How are you feeling about the game? A typical, night game, a typical 12:30 game here in India for us, a typical tense game in a title race. Match is kicked off. Bayaji says Stones isn't reliable anymore. I just think Bayaji, maybe if we had, that Real Madrid game was all about us not being able to put the ball in the back of the net at the Etihad. It wasn't anything about the defense. So I won't go much on that to be honest. But yeah, Stones is not reliable anymore. He's done a couple of mistakes this season to be honest. I was looking at Gerard Brathwaite yesterday. Everton against Liverpool, and Everton were just superb, and Brathwaite was just fantastic, bringing the ball out, strong, pacey, powerful. I just think maybe Brathwaite is the next John Stones. We need to go for him. He'll be perfect for our setup. But anyway, Bernardo Silva here, interestingly, is on the left, and just couldn't thread that ball through there. Brathwaite is someone I would actually look at in the summer, to be honest. He has got everything. Aru says, I think Ake would be starting most of the games and they started many games, but Akanji, I'm not sure. There are still few things to work on. Maybe from October, he would. True, Aristo, he's still learning that, craft of going into the midfield and stuff. But I think just looking at the successor of John Stones, I think we need to go for a young centre back in this transfer window. I know they've spent 100 million on Guardiola. I mean, I'm not sure that's the priority, but oh, Brighton get the ball up early. Brighton get the ball up early. That's a good save by Edison. This is nerve. This is nerve cracking, guys. This is nerve cracking. Brighton there. I thought it was in for a moment. This is very nerve cracking. Kovacic. Aru says, what's your view on Bruno Guimaraes to City? I thought he was almost through there, Julian Alvarez. The through ball just didn't go in. Aru says, what's your view on Bruno Guimaraes to City? There's news that City have contacted his agents. I'll come on to that, but Kevin De Bruyne in space there. Time to play the ball in. Ah, City Guardiola there. He's been excellent since that break, since that injury, since coming back from injury. Rodri. I actually have a bit of an interesting take on this Bruno Guimaraes to City. I'll come back to it after City's attack. But Rodri there, Kevin De Bruyne. City have started on the front foot here. We have to make this pressure count. We have to make this pressure count. Manuel Akanji, Kevin De Bruyne. He's found Kevin De Bruyne in space. Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne again. Ah, that's gone out for a Brighton throw, I think. Bruno Guimaraes is interesting actually. A friend of mine who's a United fan, you know what he said? I was just discussing with him about the Bruno Guimaraes transfer, and he said it's borderline unfair for the league if you have both Bruno Guimaraes and Rodri. That was his first statement. He said, "Why don't you just take the next Premier League trophy? It's just unfair having both Bruno Guimaraes and Rodri." I think Bruno Guimaraes is the one who's that's not a foul, ref. But anyway, I think Bruno Guimaraes is the missing piece of the jigsaw puzzle for me because Bruno Guimaraes. I mean, I'm just wondering why is Haaland not getting many goals? Because there's no one making that runs into the box anymore, which means the defenders can just be concerned about Haaland. Gundogan used to make that runs. Now, who is the player available in the world who who can play in that DM role, who can play in that box, who has that defensive nervous, but still in that box to box role can make the runs into the box. I think I do not see anyone better than Bruno Guimaraes in that role. For me, I think Bruno Guimaraes, even if it costs 100 million, for me, Bruno Guimaraes is Bruno Guimaraes is a must go for me. We need to go for him. I mean, again, it could be interesting with who do you think? Bruno Guimaraes? Brighton are now in space. Brighton are now in space. Come back, come back, come back, come back, come back. That is well defended. This game is just going end to end. This game is just going bonkers. I mean, Bruno Guimaraes or Joshua Kimmich? Whom do you guys want if there was an option? It's an interesting one. I've thought about it. I think for me, it's Bruno Guimaraes over Joshua Kimmich because I think Kimmich would be a bit more similar to Rodri, I think, but Bruno Guimaraes provides you that little bit more different. He provides you that aggression and driving us forward. City have started on the front foot here. Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Manuel Akanji, Kyle Walker on the right. Phil Foden is occupying central positions, which is very good to see. Both De Bruyne and Foden are playing centrally today, which is very good to see. Interesting. Bernardo is playing on the left, which means Pep wants Foden, even if he plays on the right, to cut in on his favored foot. Nathan Ake, Phil Foden coming deep to receive the ball there. Kevin De Bruyne. We're just not able to break through Brighton's defense. Aru says Bruno can bring in the attack and Kimmich will bring in more defense. I think we can just go for one. I mean, for me, it would not be a choice. Aris between Kimmich and Bruno Guimaraes. For me, I think that's an excellent ball. That's an excellent ball there by Edison, but Brighton's keeper is onto that in a flash. I think a more relatable comparison I should have made is maybe Douglas Luiz and Bruno Guimaraes, because I see Douglas Luiz as the only other player who could do what maybe a Gundogan did, which is make runs into the box. But I do not think we are getting anywhere close to Douglas Luiz. So for me, it's going to be Bruno Guimaraes. I think we are going to sign Lucas Paqueta, Bruno Guimaraes, and I think there'll be one more signing for Kyle Walker's successor. But the problem here is Bruno Guimaraes and Lucas Paqueta will cost you at least 180 something like that. So I think it all points towards us getting back Jan Kuto, to be honest, from Girona. Brighton are just playing out of the back beautifully there. Brighton are just playing beautifully out of the back there, and City are looking positive. It's a tough away game, to be honest. Like Bayaji said, Brighton are depleted, but you can just see the style of play come through, to be honest. Arus Lucas Paqueta's release clause is very high, but we can and we should bring him in. I mean, I do not think it's yes, it's very high in terms of 85 million pounds, right, Arus? But I think Lucas Paqueta only comes in if Bernardo goes. So Bernardo's release clause is around 50, right? 50 million pounds. So you get 50 for Bernardo and activate. That is excellent from Foden. That is wonderful from Foden. Bernardo Silva, Julian Alvarez actually on the left. Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne switches it to Manuel Akanji. Julian Alvarez. City just on the ball. So City are just sitting on the ball. But yeah, but I think the net would be just 38 million pounds, right? Because Lucas Paqueta for me is a Bernardo Silva replacement. So in a way, you're getting 38 million, a Bernardo Silva replacement, and 38 million pounds once you sell Bernardo for 50. So I think getting Lucas Paqueta in is a no-brainer if Bernardo goes, to be honest. I mean, people thought Josko Guardiola was 100 million pounds. He is, but then you see the who he has replaced. You detect the fees of people like Aymeric Laporte and stuff from Josko Guardiola's fees, and then Josko Guardiola we got Josko Guardiola from somewhere between 50 60 million pounds, which is very decent price for someone who's going to give you at least 10 years of his career, to be honest. So for me, I think Bruno Guimaraes is the one that is going to be tricky because it's 100 million pounds. That's a great ball from Nathan Ake. Brighton are just not allowing us to, you know, get the ball in those half spaces through the center. Brighton are defending very well here. Brighton are defending absolutely well here. City are just not able to pass through the middle. This is going to be a tricky night for us, guys. Just get ready for it. It's going to be an absolutely tricky night for us. Look at it. Edison and Ake are with the ball for the last 1 minute and nothing's happening with it. That's a great ball from Edison to find Kyle Walker, be honest. And the ball again goes back to Edison. Aru says Brighton's press is good. This is where we miss Erling Haaland, to be honest, Arus, because he occupied with Erling Haaland, the opposition just can't press that high. Where we want Erling Haaland is not there. Got injured at the right time, at the wrong time. Erling Haaland, to be honest, Brighton's press is just too good. I don't know why, but I think this is a perfect match with Jeremy Doku with the space and stuff. I think Jeremy Doku can break this press, but I don't know why Pep is not playing him. Again, maybe a mistake from Pep Guardiola. Gautam is here. He says, "Hey there, citizens. Hey Gautam." Already there's shades of a difficult night here. Brighton's press, like Arus pointed out, is absolutely brutal, I would say. It's very nasty. They're just not allowing us. I mean, likewise, our press has been good as well. It's like the two managers cancelling out each other's press, which is not good for anyone, to be honest. That's a free kick for City. Gautam says, hope we get some bliss tonight. We have to get some bliss tonight, Gautam. This is the part of the run in where mistakes are not allowed, where you're not allowed to blink. If you want to be champions again, if you want to do the four-peat, we just cannot blink here. You have to get the job done, whatever it may be. Aru says, I think Pep still wants Doku to learn few more things and hence he isn't getting much game time. It's interesting with Pep. The better you start performing, the more you're put on the bench. That's his style of managing and it's been pretty successful. So no comments on it, but that's an interesting way. Phil Foden there with the free kick. Ah, it was a chance, but was he offside? Nathanake, that was a chance. Foden knows it. It was a chance for Nathanake. He was onside. Ake was onside. Ake was not offside. Ake was onside. That was a chance for Nathanake. But he was stretching. It was a difficult chance, but it was a chance for Nathanake there. Ah, it's a Brighton throw. Arus is Ake trying to be Haaland. But Ake has had certain game-changing moments this season. You know, that header against Arsenal, if you remember, at the Emirates, where in the third minute or stuff, we could have gone 1-0 up. He missed it. I think even the header against Liverpool, I think early on there in the return leg, he missed it. So I think Ake has had some high octane chances, but then he's not a striker. But the ball's just not gone out still, but now it's gone out. It's interesting this match. Both the teams have cancelled out each other in terms of press. Uh, Brighton, for me, have had one or two clear cut chances. I think one or two shots on Edison's goal. We have not had a single shot still. And City score! Wow! It's that man! It's Kevin De Bruyne with a header, with a looping header. Walker's pass and Kevin De Bruyne scores. That's a worldie. What a header from Kevin De Bruyne. It was almost like time stood still for that header. Wow, what a goal. Gautam says it had to be him. But what a goal. It's almost like time stood still for that. What a pass by Phil Foden. Let's check. He's onside. Thank God he's onside. But what a finish that was. What a finish that was. Excellent work from Foden. That is an unsavable header. That is a banger. It's the first time I'm seeing that Kevin De Bruyne can score bangers with his head as well. What a goal, what a goal that is from Kevin De Bruyne. Bayaji says Walker with a perfect cross once in a blue moon. भैया पहली बार वॉकर ने अपने दिमाग यूज किया और सोचा क्या करूं इधर. This is the first time I've realized even Walker has got some brain when attacking. First time I'm seeing Walker is using his brain. Akanji does absolutely well there. Turn of pace from Manuel Akanji there was superb. The Brighton attacker was through. RSS, what a goal that was. That was, that is a banger with the head. That is a Brighton corner. Joao Pedro to take it. What a goal that was, to be honest. De Bruyne only scores bangers. Gautam says, sorry to say, I feel more comfortable without Haaland. It feels more fluid. Gautam, I'm convinced. I mean, I know a lot of you lot in the community are convinced as well that if Haaland hadn't played against Madrid, we win that tie easily. For a moment, I thought that goal went in from Van Eyck. I think it was it's Lewis Dunk with the header there. For a moment, I thought it went in. It's as simple, Gautam. I think without Erling Haaland, we win that Madrid tie. Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva. For a moment I thought the net was gonna bulge over there. It was Julian Alvarez actually. My apologies. For a moment I thought the net was gonna bulge over there. Alvarez went for it. That was such a tight angle. Alvarez went for it. For a moment I thought it has found the far corner over there. Bayaji says Alvarez not even hitting the target. I mean, we are used to seeing those shots going, especially when Sergio Aguero was playing, but I just thought he tried to find the far corner there. It just, it's interesting in those kind of shots because Sergio Aguero always in those kind of moments he would just take a step inside and go for that near post thing. He would just blast it onto the Brighton on the attack. It's a 3v3 at the back. I can't even look. It's a bloody 3v3 at the back. Nathanaaki does extremely well there. We are so and this game all mayhem has broken loose in this game, guys. Bhaiya, this is Aguero scored lots of goals from that angle. Exactly my thought. I don't think anyone is capable, any striker after Aguero and even before Aguero. I've not seen any striker, score those many goals from that angle, that were the near post. That to a right-footed striker, to be honest. Aguero, for me, I think Aguero just, he had to happen 3 4 years later. I mean, I know there's that Aguero moment, but I just wish that Pep came earlier to City and Pep had Aguero in his prime, to be honest. That's what I actually wish. Because Pep would have made Aguero a beast striker. Aguero without injury problems under Pep. Because Aguero's ball retention, Aguero's dribbling, everything is just on spot. Pep would have made Aguero just unplayable even more, even off the ball. Arush says we need to win this game and the next game and the next against Nottingham by big margin, so that if unfortunately we draw a match in future and come on level with Arsenal, at least we beat them on goal difference. It will be psychologically as well that will play a role, Arush, I think, because if we go toe to toe competing on goal difference with Arsenal, then Arsenal might want to go hard in one of their games, which definitely are not easy. If you see, Arsenal have to play Spurs, Arsenal have to play Arsenal have 4 games left in two of those games they have to play Spurs and Man United. So we could create that pressure. That's excellent one-touch passing. That's that's a corner, and that was prime Kevin De Bruyne there running through the whole midfield, the entire midfield. For me, for a while, I thought it gave me a glimpse of Yaya Toure against Swansea. Against Swansea City, if you remember, Yaya Toure once in 2014 season, I think, ran through the entire midfield and scored a goal. JSK says, I'm back, Mohan. Welcome back, JSK. 1-0, but still tense. Everybody here is tense. Everybody here is tense. It's that time of the year. It's that run in. Bernardo, strike it. That's another corner. It's a goal kick. JSK says, and I don't want the club to keep Silva next season. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm split on that, JSK, because I actually think that Real Madrid thing happened, but then in penalties anything can happen. But after that, the way he kissed the badge against Chelsea, I mean, I'm all in for Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva for me, irrespective of the opposition, I think Bernardo Silva, season after season, he has produced an 8 by 10. His level never drops. So for me, I think I would not want Bernardo Silva to go, to be honest. I want to keep him. Phil Foden's gone down there. Referee is given a free kick, but City players are asking for a penalty. I think it's a free kick, to be honest. The foul started outside the box. The foul started outside the box. It's a free kick and it's not a penalty. Let us. Yes, the contact was outside the box. It is not inside the box. That was a free kick. Gautam says, don't think we can beat Arsenal on goal difference, to be honest. It's 11 goals, Gautam. So two 5-0s and we are there, to be honest. And it's not that hard for City. Two 5-0s. Arush says, Gautam, it would be hard, but Arsenal have comparatively harder fixtures than us. Exactly. I think it's possible. It's very much possible. It's very much possible. I think out of the last 6 fixtures for us, expecting two 5-0 wins is not a big ask, to be honest, I think. Especially in one of our home games. We have Wolves at home and we have West Ham at home, if I'm not wrong. Kevin De Bruyne with the free kick. And it's a goal again! Wow! Now it's Phil Foden! Phil Foden scores! Wow! Kevin De Bruyne has scored and now it's Phil Foden! Both of them showing pep. Both of us can play together. Come on, City! Woo! Woo! Come on! What a goal! What a goal that is! I don't know if it's an own goal or something. Let us see. I do not think it's an own goal, to be honest. I, it definitely came off a Brighton player, but I don't know if it will be given with Phil Foden or it will be given off that Brighton player. I just don't know. But that is for people who have Foden in their fantasy team, and it's not for me. What matters for me is 2-0. Bayaji says deflected off. I'm sure Bayaji it's deflected off a Brighton player, to be honest, because that's what I saw in the replays. Unless I missed an angle. Let us see to whom they've credited the goal. I don't know. I don't know for whom they've credited the goal, to be honest. But anyway, who cares? City at 2-0 up. Fell Foden. Stockport Iniesta. Kadams is Foden. Wow. I mean, what a free kick. That was, I was expecting KDB to take it, but I think everyone was surprised when Foden took it, including Brighton actually. Because if you see how Brighton set up, they were expecting KDB to strike it. They were not expecting Phil Foden to strike it, to be honest. JSK says, and also Kyle Walker needs to be loaded off for Livramento. The fullback thing is interesting because I do not know. Let us keep a clean sheet here, guys. Let us keep a clean sheet here. We need goal difference. If we can get one more, we can go for that five goal thing, actually, to be honest, and go with that goal difference, to be honest. One more before the end of the half, and we could very well go towards covering up that goal difference with Arsenal. But Kyle Walker replacements, I just do not have anyone in mind. I mean, Jan Kuto comes to mind, but that's it. If you guys know any Kyle Walker replacement, Livramento is actually good. Livramento is good. 1v1 is good. But I don't think we can buy both Bruno Gimenez and Livramento from Newcastle, to be honest. Julian Alvarez. I mean, Julian Alvarez looks so much better on the ball when he's playing as a striker, and he can just come and he can just come and hold the ball and then lay it off. Gotham says City haven't lost when Alvarez has started this season in PL. Same with Rodri. Right, Gotham? City haven't lost a match. Oh, that's a great one there from Kevin De Bruyne, but can he reach it? He can't. We are playing 4-4-2 right now with KDB and Julian Alvarez. The pressing from Alvarez, everything. This is wonderful there. Look at the pressing from Alvarez. We don't get it with Haaland. I mean, I'm a big fan of Haaland. He has been responsible for us winning the treble last season and a lot. But I just think we look more fluid. I have to agree with you all. We just look more fluid. There is the strikers holding up the ball better. The defenders are confused whom to go with. The one-touch passing. I mean, with Erling Haaland, I think one-touch passing is impossible, to be honest. Look at the one-touch passing now. It's just so fluid. De Bruyne is on the left, Bernardo on the middle, De Bruyne is going on the right, De Bruyne is playing a 4-4-2, Alvarez drifting on the left. The heat map will be very interesting if you guys can look at it. Everyone's everywhere. This is the most fluid I've seen City play in the last 2 years. I mean, we would have won the bloody Champions League playing like this. Disagree with me, guys, and I know you can't because we would have won the bloody Champions League. Rudiger would have bloody lost his head if he would have played like that. Give it to Walker. Ha! Aru says I like Frimpong more for Walker. But Arus, I do not think Frimpong can defend in a 4. With Frimpong, I think again it needs to be a 3-5-2, something like that. Frimpong for me is a wing back and not a full back. Frimpong will easily be found out. With Frimpong, it will again be the Trent situation. Look at the turn of pace there from Josko Guardiol. Wow! Look at that. That is called Rolls Royce defending. Look at that from Josko Guardiol. Fantastic. Imagine us having both Gerard Brathwaite and Josko Guardiol together. JSK says, don't want Gimenez, just slip. JSK, I think Guimaraes is really important. I think you put Guimaraes in this team, and I think we probably beat Real Madrid even with Erling Haaland in it. I mean, you want a system to work with Erling Haaland, you bring in Guimaraes. And also, I mean, Gimenez gives you a cover for Rodri. He can play in a box-to-box role. He can attack the box. I think Gimenez takes two or three positions for me. He can do everything. Gimenez can play the John Stones role, to be honest. He's very good in the air. His sense of a pass and everything. Bruno Gimenez for me ticks whole lot of boxes. Ah, they've given the ball away to Brighton. Look at City's aggressive press. That is just wonderful. And De Bruyne needs to play that ball. And he's played that ball. Julian Alvarez there. One on one. Julian. Wow, look at the aggressive press from City there. The trigger. Foden's the trigger and it's just superb. And City score again. Phil Foden is on a mission today. The bucket of Phil. Wow. Phil Foden is just ramping Brighton apart. Phil Foden. Wow. What a goal. Stockport Iniesta. He's just picking Brighton apart. He's doing this again. I wish Phil Foden did this to the Real Madrid fans. He did actually at the Bernabeu with that strike. Again, this is excellent pressing there again. This is wonderful pressing. Phil Foden, what a goal. And I think it's Bernardo Silva with the assist, to be honest. I wouldn't call it, yes, it's Bernardo Silva with the assist, yeah. What a strike that is, fine in the corner. Woo! Just because Ronnie Foden scored. Stockport Iniesta scored. Once a blue, always a blue. Phil Foden. Gotham says, this is what I used to love watching back in the day before Erling Haaland arrived. This is the city we know, Gotham. This is the city we love. And everyone in this community and beyond will agree with it. This is the city that just this is the city that gets our nerves, jiggling. This is the city that gives us goosebumps. This is the city that gets you off the seat. This is the city that, this is the city that just makes you forget all of your, they used to tell that about the great Barcelona team of the 08 season. This is this that Barcelona would make you get up from the seat, and that is what you feel about City when they're playing like this. You just forget all your troubles in the world, whatever is going on in your life, and you're like, wow, this just takes you into, and this just takes you into a great place where you're like experiencing the ultimate bliss. When City play like this, you just go high. You just get high without taking anything. That's how powerful when City playing like this is. And there are very few things in life that can make you go like that. And City playing this way is one. Let us bloody target Arsenal's goal difference today. 6 goals. Anyone on for 6 goals today, guys? Anyone on for 6 goals? Bhaiya, this is woohoo. Their goalie was asking for that, and their goalie got it. Gotham says false man can demolition. I mean, let us go for 3 more goals, guys. Which means that Arsenal's goal difference will just be inside. We need to be careful and keep a clean sheet. Aru says, look how happy Pep is looking. He's loving it. Pep is like absolutely. Ah, that's a corner for Brighton. Aru says, Bro, I'm full on for 5 plus goals today. Arish, your predictions are just, being on the mark. They're just coming close. They're coming very, very close. Most of the predictions are right. Even your Real Madrid prediction was almost there. It was actually the right prediction. KDB didn't score that day. You cannot do anything about it. But let's defend this corner, guys. I want a clean sheet today, nothing else. It has to be a clean sheet today. It has to be a clean sheet today. Ah, misplaced pass that one. KDB is just looking so motivated for this. I think it was just the rest he needed out of the Chelsea game. That 1 week of rest, and KDB is just looking on it. KDB is looking so good. I think if we can, that's a throw into Brighton. KDB and Akanji were not on the same page. I think if we can get 6 goals today, Arsenal will play Spurs before us. That will mentally put pressure on them. That will mentally put pressure on them. Because 6 goals today, and it would just mean that we are just 5 goals behind them on goal difference, which is nothing to be honest. Which everyone knows the City team can, recover. Gotham says Brighton is playing with kids today. We have to be ruthless. We have to get more than 5 goals, like Aris pointed out today. Brighton passing. Now City is just a bit relaxed. We are not pressing anymore. 38 minutes. One more goal to end the half, and it would just be bliss. It's offside. Danny Welbeck's offside. Danny Welbeck's always offside. Aru says this was the break we needed from the past 3 weeks, and we got it, and now look at us crushing Brighton. That is close, to be honest, and marginal offside. We were crying out for a break, and the Chelsea win also helped, to be honest. That one touch passing there from Phil Foden is just excellent. Kevin De Bruyne. Mateo Kovacic has been very quietly, has been very good. The ball progression. I mean, the fact that we have been able to withstand the press from Brighton today, you have to give credit to Mateo Kovacic there. He's carried the ball out from tough situations, to be honest. And he's gone under the radar. And whenever Kovacic goes under the radar, it means he's being bloody fantastic. And the movement has been fluid as well. With Alvarez coming in, it has made the job of Kovacic easy to progress the ball as well. Mateo Kovacic, Bernardo Silva, Kyle Walker. I don't know why Kyle Walker is using his brain today. He's not wasted a single ball. He's not wasted a single ball. But apart from the break, Arus, I think that victory against Chelsea helped. I know we got lucky and stuff, but that victory against Chelsea definitely helped. Because going out in two competitions would have just hurt us. JS says Silva costed us the QCL. And, I mean, in a way, I mean, if you go on the, I mean, first of all, I think penalties is just it's just a toss of a coin. Anything could happen. Luka Modric, such an experienced player, missed a penalty. So anything could happen in a penalty. For me, penalties are just a toss of a coin, and anything could happen. But so I would not blame Bernardo Silva for that. I mean, if you look at that Real Madrid ties, you could say, if Alvarez would have started, City would have maybe won. A lot of ifs and buts, to be honest. Lot of ifs and buts in that Real Madrid tie. Honestly, I mean, it wasn't our day, to be honest. Phil Foden, I mean, a guy who can score these kind of goals, Phil Foden. How did he just slip when he had an open goal? It's 9 goals, guys. 9 goals is the goal difference in us and Arsenal, and we have a game in hand. So I would not blame Silva. I would not blame. Anyone? I mean, if we start the blame game, there are a lot of people you could blame, to be honest. Foden was crowded out there very early. I would just say it wasn't our day because if it was our day, either of Foden or Kevin De Bruyne would have scored. Especially in UCL, that luck factor just wasn't with us. That's what I would say. Because KDB, he's scoring such a world. Don't you think he can score? How did he miss a sitter? JSK says time for Paqueta who can take penalties actually. Aru says I wouldn't blame Silva. We missed chances which we should have buried if it was just not the exactly Arus. That's what even I think. Not the day for us. Madrid had so much luck in that tie. If you see their first two goals were deflected goals. Their Valverde's goal was a worldie. And City physically did everything we could to win that tie, to be honest. 33 goals. I'm sorry. 33 shots. Madrid's possession in that game was only 31. We had 33 shots in that game to Madrid's 11 shots or something. We did everything physically possible. Our XG was almost 2.75 something there. Madrid was 1.6. So I mean every department we dominated Madrid. It's just the ball didn't go in. Erling Haaland hitting the bar. De Bruyne missing a setter, Foden missing a setter. How many more clear-cut chances you want in a UCL semi-final? Quarter-final, three clear-cut chances. Wasn't our day, that's all. Wouldn't say anything else. All we asked for our team then was to give everything they physically could. They gave everything they physically could. City couldn't have given anything more that day. Kevin De Bruyne, Mateo Kovacic, can we score one more or are we winding shop up for this half? I think one more goal and the game is pretty much safe if you ask me. 3-0, I don't know, but 4-0, it's almost safe. JS says next year it will be more difficult with Kylian Mbappe. Kevin De Bruyne there. It's a corner for City, but again it's interesting. Yes, I do not think it will be more difficult because Kylian Mbappe, you also have to see the chemistry in the team. If Mbappe arrives, how will it affect the others? And Mbappe doesn't do defensive work like your Vinicius does, or even Rodrigo does coming back. So it doesn't mean that Mbappe comes, Alfonso Davis comes, and everything's done for Madrid. They become very weak defensively. Davis is not as good a defender as a Ferland Mendy, for example. They'll become an attack heavy team. And I think to win a UCL, you need good defense, chemistry, dressing room egos, a lot of things. I don't buy into this that Madrid is untouchable next season. Everyone thought the same about PSG when they had Neymar, Messi, Verratti. How much time did he add on? I just missed it. 3 minutes. City are just winding down the half here. Kyle Walker's making an excellent run using his pace. Walker's done extremely well here. Walker's just used his brain a lot today. Not lost the ball. He's just not crossing it blindly. He's passing the ball back. Walker's looks so good. The defense looked so solid today after a long time. Kevin De Bruyne, Matija Kovacic, Julian Alvarez. Gautam, just Jan Kuto is also part of City. He's on loan to Girona. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, Gautam, he's on loan to Girona. Phil Foden does extremely well there. I'll just come on to Jan Kuto after we break for half time here. I just don't want us to concede on the brink of half time. That would be momentum breaking. Because the game's not over yet. I thought Kyle Walker had a great chance, but Jason Steele did well there, coming out. That's very well defended there. Manuel Akanji has been a rock. What a signing Akanji has been. Look at the pay. Akanji in certain matches just looks like a Rolls Royce defender, to be honest. For me, his problems are not technical. His problems are concentration wise. Osco Guardiol. And that is a great ball from Yasko Guardiol. Phil Foden's through. Phil Foden's through. Ah, ah, good defending there from the Brighton defense. Should have maybe put in a bit more whip on the ball. That is a great pass there. And for Foden, it was a difficult pass to complete. I can only think of KDB who could have completed that. Okay, it was an offside. And the referee is blown. The referee is blown from half time. What a scintillating half of football, a special half of football. After a long, long time. Yes, we won the treble last season. Yes, this season we are still in reach of the Premier League trophy. But I think this is a special performance for me. In the last 2 years, for me, this is the best performance from Manchester City. This has been a great game of football, to be honest, from City. The performance has just blown me away. This is, like Bayaji pointed out, it has been a sublime performance through midfield. It has been a edge of the seat performance through midfield, starting with Kevin De Bruyne's header and Kyle Walker and De Bruyne was telling Walker, "What a pass!" He was asking Walker, "Can you even pass like this? Can you even cross like this?" What a cross from Kyle Walker and what a header from Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, the way Foden and De Bruyne have been breaking Brighton's press with those second and third man runs has been exceptional. I actually think with Erling Haaland, you cannot, not a criticism on Haaland, but I think with Erling Haaland, you cannot make those second and third man runs like Foden and Kevin De Bruyne are actually making. So, so I think Julian Alvarez, I mean, this kind of a striker suits us, to be honest. I mean, we won the treble last season due to Erling Haaland, but I wouldn't say 100% we won it due to Erling Haaland. He scored important goals for us. I agree, Bayern Munich and stuff. But I think we won the treble last season because of the defense, because of how solid we were in defense. Because if you remember last season, live knockouts, Champions League knockouts. If I may remind everyone of the scoreline, 0 goals conceded Leipzig, 0 goals Bayern, 0 goals Madrid, 0 goals Inter. So in the entire knockout phase, we just conceded 2 goals, and that too one was a controversial penalty, which is not a penalty when the match was done. It's Bayern, and one was a Vinicius Junior goal from outside the box. So apart from a controversial goal and a worldie, we didn't concede anything last season. So 65-70% we won the treble last season due to our defense, due to us keeping clean sheets at home in all of the knockout ties. If we had done that this season, we would have been to the next round of the Champions League. So I wouldn't put everything on Erling Haaland, to be honest. Aru says if it would have been the other part of Manchester, that is the one in red, the Rags, 3-0 would be bottled, but we wouldn't bottle 3-0. I mean, I honestly wanted Coventry City to win that because one is because Coventry City also wear light blue, and there's a famous song that has come out after Coventry City where unjustly, United won. They said, Man City will get your revenge, Coventry. We will make sure that you extract revenge from City. So I mean, we have double support now for that FA Cup final. I mean, I think if we bottle a 3-0 lead, we don't deserve to win the league. It's as simple as that, I would say. We bottle a 3-0 lead, I mean, let us not even talk about that and we don't even discuss about that, right? Because that's the mentality that that's what we are discussing about. How do we score 4, 5, and 6? And if possible, 7. That's a mentality here at City. Whereas at United, it's the it's the reverse. It's exactly the reverse, like Arus pointed out. Gautam says, great. Then apart from Jan Kuto, we can also go for Matty Cash or a Petro Poro for right back if you want one. With Jan Kuto, Gautam, the thing is, I mean, I've been watching quite a few Girona games because even they have been competing for the title until the last 1, 2 months. They have been very good on the eye and very good football. Jan Kuto is starting as a right winger. He's not starting as a right back for Girona. He's starting as a right winger or as a right wing back, mostly starting as a right winger with a full back behind him. And and I've seen Jan Couto play against Real Madrid when Madrid played Girona in La Liga, and Madrid just destroyed Jan Couto's side. I do not think Jan Couto is still ready to be a one-on-one defender. He's still young, he's still 19 or 20. So Jan Couto for me is not ready to be a one-on-one defender, to be honest. Jan Kuto's strength is, I mean, Jan Kuto again is a trend situation. Jeremy Frimpong, Jan Kuto, and Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think these three are exceptional attacking wise, but defensive wise, we can get at them. Pedro Porro for me was the best choice. Pedro Porro for me was just soup. And we had a right as well to him. Spurs bid 42 million pound. We had the first refusal right. He was our player, and then we sold him to Benfica, I think. I don't know, Sporting, I think. I don't remember the name. But so we had a right over Pedro Porro and we didn't exercise it. I don't know why. Pedro Porro, I always thought, is the perfect replacement for Kyle Walker. But Spurs, we ain't gonna deal with Spurs. We are never gonna deal with Spurs again. There was a very senior Man City transfer, very senior person involved in Man City transfer department. He didn't wish to be named. He told the Athletic that dealing with Daniel Levy is that having blood in your piss. He told that having blood in your piss is better than dealing with Daniel Levy. You can just understand by that statement. He literally quoted that statement. So you can understand. So you can actually understand with that statement how big of a this thing is dealing with Daniel Levy. So I do not think we are not dealing with Spurs anymore. And I don't think unless there are quite a few problems if Pep changes the system to a 3-5-2, because where will you adjust all of these midfielders? I don't know. That's why I actually do not have many names when you come to fullbacks, to be honest. Gautam, JSK says we need Livramento over Kyoto. Like Gautam pointed out, JSK Livramento is good, but he's injury prone. Yeah, is injury prone, to be honest. Lewis Hall seems to be good as well at Newcastle, but then he's raw. JSK says, by the way, how about Reece James? Chelsea are thinking of selling him. A very interesting thing, JSK, because on top of it, because you'll feel that Reece James injury prone and he's not that. But we have proved with our medical department that our medical department is far superior and we can get players back to injury prone players as well. We can get them back up and running. Sergio Aguero had a lot of injuries before Pep came, and after Pep came, his for a while actually his injuries reduced. To be honest, they weren't as aggravating as much. So So I just think Reece James could be interesting, and it's a no go for Chelsea. JSK Chelsea will have to sell Reece James because he's a homegrown player. They are on the search for the profit and sustainability rules. They're falling foul of it, and they have to sell, and they are forced to sell a homegrown player so that it's pure profit. With I'm hearing that they want to sell Conor Gallagher, but I think if we go in for Reece James, I think they will accept it. I think Reece James, if we can make him fit and starting playing every match, it will borderline unfair for the entire league. But again, fitness is the only issue with Reece James, to be honest. Gotham says City are interested in Mendy. I've heard that Furlan Mendy. That it's actually an interesting thing with Furlan Mendy, Gotham, because Furlan Mendy is very solid defensively. He's exceptional defensively, but offensively, I do not think Furlan Mendy is. I know Madrid are getting Alfonso Davis, so they're they want to sell Furlan Mendy. He's exceptional defensively, but again offensively, he's not that good. Again, for me, I think I would like someone who can who can go forward. And I mean, Ferland Mendy doesn't fit how Pep Guardiola wants to play. I think because Ferland Mendy is your typical wing to wing fullback. But whereas if you look at Josko Guardiola, or if you look at even Ake, what Pep's asked of Nathan Ake, Pep wants his fullbacks to go inside and stuff. So I do not think Mendy suits us. Miguel Goitres is a perfect Miguel Guetres is a perfect player who suits us. I mean, I haven't. Miguel Guetres is from Girona, and I haven't seen a player who can invert so much and who's so comfortable in those striking positions. Miguel Guetres is a player, if you ask Pep Guardiola to go into the laboratory and prepare a perfect left back, it's Miguel Guedes. He's perfect in those when striking the ball. His sense of goal is superb. The way he cuts inside more than Pep Guardiola even wants into the midfield. Miguel Guedes would just, he would just destroy football teams. That's how good Miguel Guedes is. I would go for Miguel Guedes and not Ferland Mendy, to be honest. Gautam says Reese also the same problem, injury prone. Gautam going for Reese James would almost be like Mumbai Indians going for Jafra Archer. The temptation would be that to pair Bumrah and Archer together. Here the temptation would be to pair Reese James and Erling Haaland together because you see the kind of crosses Reese James can give in, and Erling Haaland will just be licking his lips. Is it a risk worth taking? I do not know because Reece James is not that old as well as young. Is not that old, and I think maybe it's a risk worth taking because Chelsea's medical department is shit. We have seen that Chelsea's medical department is absolutely shit. So I think for me, if you ask me, Reece James is a risk worth taking because defensively is good as well. For 1 year, because I think for 1 year Kyle Walker can still hold on to himself. Gautam says I would take Cash or Pedro Poro. Pedro Poro, we are not getting Pedro Poro. Matty Cash would be interesting. His performances as actually, but Reece James would just be a coup. He would be another Rolls Royce player. I think I would take Reece James, to be honest, and trust our medical department to turn it around. JSK says we already have Josko. He's miles over Mendy. And Mendy is not even a Pep Guardiola fullback, actually. I think it's just Ferland Mendy's agent, testing the waters. Because Madrid are going for Alfonso Davis. So Ferland Mendy's agent needs some clarity. I think he wants to see how Madrid will react if there are other clubs coming in for Ferland Mendy. So that he can then judge whether No, the agent can judge whether Ferland Mendy can stay at Madrid or should he be looking for other suitors for him. So I think it's just Ferland Mendy's agent, linking him with City. That's all. I never thought Ferland Mendy is a Pep Guardiola kind of player, and I do not think a left back is a concern this season. To be honest, it's not a concern at all. Next season in the transfer window, Ake can play there. Josko Guardiola can play there. Akanji can play there if needed. We already have at least two first team covers there. Midfield and midfield and right back is a priority area, to be honest. Bayaji says Reece James would be Benjamin Mendy 2.0. Bayaji, you remember that game 2017 Liverpool against City? Sadio Mane red card on Ederson. Benjamin Mendy Benjamin Mendy finished the 2017 season with five assists, having played just three matches. I think there are many fullbacks in the entire league who have played the entire season and haven't got as many assists as Mendy got in three matches. Mendy for me is unfulfilled potential. For me, the potential he had at Monaco, the way Mendy, he curls the ball, and that ability of Mendy to curl, Benjamin Mendy to curl the ball, and I mean, it's just unfulfilled potential there. I always feel bad about the unfulfilled potential. The other things is done in his life if we just keep it away, but unfulfilled potential, I think. But with Reece James, I think the mindset is a little bit different because Reece James, for me, comes across as a personality who wants to get fit fast. Reece James, the personality who's more competitive, who wants to get at it, who wants to be fit. He's a leadership material. With Mendy, it's not like that. Mendy was never a leadership material. Mendy, I never saw that hunger. But with Reece James, that hunger is different, I think. I would take a chance on Reece James it, because Walker's already there, and I think if the chance works out, just imagine the kind of fullback we'll be getting. It's just wow with Reece James. Craig is here. Hey Craig, how are you doing? Craig says, would you not take Alfonso Davis from Bayern as left back? Craig, Alfonso Davis from Bayern as left back would pose the same problem as what Joao Cancelo or even Zinchenko did, but mostly what a Joao Cancelo did actually. Because why didn't we win the Champions League whenever Joao Cancelo was there or Zinchenko was there? Because defensively they are shit. Now Alfonso Davis is attackingly superb, but I do not think Alfonso Davis is defensively good enough to, defend wide spaces. I think 2 seasons back when Liverpool went for the quadruple, I think it was 2 seasons back, when Liverpool went for the quadruple, I think it was Bayern versus Villarreal. Villarreal knocks Bayern out in the quarterfinals. It was a ball over the top into the space vacated by Alfonso Davis, and Villarreal hit them on the counter. The same will be repeating if we have Alfonso Davis. Alfonso Davis doesn't have the defensive sense to defend huge spaces. So no Alfonso Davis for me. Maybe I think you could argue Alfonso Davis has the sense to, invert as a fullback and stuff, but defensively, I do not think Alfonso Davis fits us. JSK says Davis is one season wonder. Davis doesn't fit our style. JSK defensively. Arus's left back position is not in worry. Guardiola and Ake both can play, and now you're seeing how Josko Guardiola is playing. I think in a way in the last 1 or 2 months, Josko Guardiola is probably in the top three, four left backs in the entire world. He's been that good. Rodri did well there. Rodri did absolutely well there. Kyle Walker, क्या हो गया Kyle Walker को? Half time break के बाद, I thought he was superb. I thought he was superb in the first half, but again, brain fade moment there. Walker giving the ball away. Rodri did extremely well there. Rodri did wonderfully well there. There's nothing wrong in that challenge. We need to play long balls over the top, stop playing through the Brighton press and those risky passes. But Kevin De Bruyne, Kyle Walker, JSK, if you say Davis is a one season wonder, what about Kyle Walker? Is he a one half wonder? RSS, I think we need transfer for midfield this summer for right back. We can work on some new combinations and if required, sign a player during winter transfer window. Exactly, and I wouldn't mind midfield is a priority to be honest, and I wouldn't mind taking that risk on Reece James. But Arush, for midfield as well, I think aren't we forgetting that Claudio Echeverri is there to come in? He might not come until next January, I know, but yeah, you're right. If Bernardo leaves, we need a replacement and we need a backup for Rodri. You're right. The midfield is much more of a priority right now. That's offside for Brighton. Craig says David Davis ranked number two left back in Europe by 4-4-2. He is Craig, but defensively that's actually my feeling. Defensively he's just not there. Defensively he's just not there. I mean offensively I think you can have Hakimi, you can have Davis right on top, but I think all round, I do not think Davis probably is in the top five. He might be in the top 10, but I think all round, as an all round fullback, I do not think Davis is there because defensively is not that good. You can get at him. Davis just uses his pace to recover. One on one, he is not that good to be honest. Kovacic does extremely well. Foden slips. Fouls not being given. Aros says Claudio is still so young, so we can't fully rely on him. I think he's ready, Aros. I think Claudio Echeverri is ready. Claudio Echeverri is absolutely ready, I think. He might take time to get into Pep's team, but I think for the first team action, Claudio Echeverri is actually ready. Josko Guardiola does extremely well. Kovacic into the box. Brighton are playing some neat 1-2 triangles here, but Kovacic does extremely well over there. That's a corner for City, I think. Rodri does well there. Harris says Walker back to his normal senses again. One half wonder, Harris. One half wonder. One half wonder. Kyle Walker. I actually think Arus. I actually think Kyle Walker does not like to keep his brain switched on for a long time. Always says easy this, bro. Always we need to get on the goal difference as well. I would want three more goals. Would want us to double this lead and keep a clean sheet as well because I have Walker and I have Akanji in my fantasy team. And just imagine, I'm imagining Walker will get a bonus point as well. Guys, who's the best left back in the world? According to you, who is the best left back in the world? What do you think right now? It's a free kick by Phil Foden. I think Foden takes it. It's written in the stars for a left footer. It's a corner for City, well defended with Brighton. That was a great free kick there. Suddenly, what's happened to us? Guys, what's happened to us? Set pieces as well, we are just looking superb. Who do you think is the best left back in the world? Because I'm thinking about it, and it's definitely for me not Alfonso Davis. Robertson has deteriorated. I wouldn't sit here and say Jakob KV. Aru says Theo Hernandez probably. Yes. Yes, right. Theo Hernandez. Theo Hernandez, you're right. Theo Hernandez is very good and is balanced. Both offensively and defensively, you're right. Theo Hernandez. For me, I've always thought Hakimi is the best Kyle Walker replacement. Again, look at what Kyle Walker's doing. Damn shit. Look at what Kyle Walker's doing, guys. Second mistake by Walker there. Clears it. And it's offside. Again, I think Walker just seems to have lost it. Theo Hernandez, right? Theo Hernandez. Arus Grimaldo has also played very well this season. I mean, I would be a little bit more cautious, Arus, about uh, wing backs because I think it would be unfair to compare fullbacks with wing backs because wing backs their only job is to attack. But if you're a fullback, I think you have to take care of defensive work, a lot of things. So maybe that's why I haven't even got Frimpong into conversation, though he's a right back. So I think because Grimaldo for me, because City were linked with him, I think 2 seasons ago and what or so, and I think Grimaldo has his defensive deficiencies to be honest. That is why Alonso plays him in a wing back position. That is excellent there by Phil Foden. This is City's one touch football at its absolute best. Look at that. Phil Foden, Kevin De Bruyne, Julian Alvarez. I think with Erling Haaland, it's impossible to play this one touch football. Rodri, Nathan Ake, Mateo Kovacic. Brighton now don't even want to press Kovacic. Ake has improved so much on the ball. Gotham says this is magical, blissful. I mean, this half we haven't yet started, but this half we haven't yet started what we finished in the first half. But yeah, the one touch passing sometimes the midfield even in this half is just so good. I mean, all I ask now is keep a clean sheet. That's all. Let us score one more goal. It's a substitution for Brighton. They've made some after half time and now they're making it again. Gautam says one touch pass. Exactly, Gautam. How long is it been that we have seen one touch passing? I don't know about you guys, but I always think that Harry Kane would have just elevated this team to another level. That idiot Daniel Levy didn't sell, even though we offered 150. I mean, now I think you can know why City went 150 for Harry Kane, even though they knew that. Erling Haaland was probably available for a much lesser price the next season. I think Harry Kane in this team, just imagine the kind of passes and the one-touch passing City could have played with Harry Kane in this team. That given the ball away and Brighton have a 2v3 in attack. Just keep a clean sheet, guys. That's very well defended by Nathan Ake. That is excellent from Nathan Ake, and it's a corner. Keep a clean sheet, guys. That's what I ask for. I don't think they can give it handball because that ball was stuck from such a close range with so much power. Clean sheet, please. That is a great catch from Edison. Both Guardiola and Dunk. Guardiola is on Luis Dunk. Guardiola has just been exceptional since his return from injury. A lot of us have doubted him, but he's just been superb. That is a great long kick from Edison, but Alvarez just can't reach it. This is fantastic there. Julian Alvarez has to score. Ah, ah. The strike just didn't have enough venom over there. Kevin De Bruyne City are now just all over Brighton. Now Brighton's energy seems to have gone. It's gone of a city. JSK says Darwin Alvarez. Yeah, talking about Darwin Nunes yesterday, JSK. I was watching Everton Liverpool and the chances that Darwin Nunes had, chance after chance after chance, the way he was missing that. Glad we didn't go for him because I think 2, 3 years ago when we were linked to him, I'm glad that we didn't go for him. Phil Foden there trying to be clever. Ah, look at the press from KDB. Look at the intensity from KDB. It's just some rest that he needed. Arush says, I really want to see Alvarez scoring. It's been a long time. Just for his confidence. Just for his confidence, Arush, if not for anything else. Look at him, the poor guy. He's been trying a lot. I mean, he's been played in all the positions except the centre forward position. A box to box midfield as a pivot, attacking midfield, left, sometimes the right. Except the striker position has been played everywhere. Poor guy. That has to do with him not having confidence. One more goal just to add to the goal difference. He's offside. Joa Pedro, I think, has been caught offside twice or thrice right now. Gautam says this win means more to us. Just want us to keep a clean sheet, Gautam. A clean sheet will mean absolutely the world to us, to be honest. Walker does extremely well. I don't know why I'm just getting nervous seeing Kyle Walker. He's just been an absolute shit in this half. He's given the ball away twice, which could have led to goals. Walker's been shit. क्या हुआ भैया जी कायल वॉकर को? What a run that is from Kyle Walker. Ah! Look at the run! Look at the run from Kyle Walker there, and look at the finish from Julian Alvarez. Great finish from Alvarez, but from but for me, all of that is about the run. All of that is about the run from Kyle Walker. I don't know what the Brighton players are complaining about, but what a run! What a run! What a run that is from Kyle Walker. That is definitely onside. The foul in question is about the foul on the goalkeeper. Let us see. Not a foul, not a foul, not a foul. It's not a foul for me. The ball was not in Jason Steele's grasp and never a foul for me. Never a foul for me. Never a foul. Never a foul, that is. Never a foul. Kyle Walker, another assist. Never a foul there. He's got the ball. Kyle Walker has got the ball. Bayajis is complaining about handball. But Bayaji, that rule has been revised, right? If it's not intentional, then there's no handball even for strikers. I mean, even for the one who's one who's involved in that. And finally, Alvarez scores. Come on, City. That has to confidence. The confidence that will give him is just immense. Bayaji said earlier they win the ball in danger areas and then Alvarez messes it big time. That's got to do with the confidence actually, Bayaji. The confidence, and it's on Pep. Pep has played him in a pivot, left wing, right wing, attacking midfield. Alvarez is played in all the positions except the fullback, except the centre forward position. The confidence, and look at how good Alvarez was today. The hold up play, the one touch passing. I think without Alvarez, the one touch passing is just impossible. Just keep a clean sheet now because we need it for goal difference. That is fantastic. That is fantastic there from Josko Guardiola. Look at the defending of Josko Guardiola there. This team is getting all of us up. Yeah, this team is getting us up for this title race running. What a tackle from Josko Guardiola there. Rolls Royce defender. This is I have a friend who's a Barca fan, and he's obviously a Pep fan. And when we got Josko Guardiola, you know what he said, and we were all doubting him. He said, "Mohan, you've got someone like a." He compared him to Maldini. He compared Josko Guardiola to Maldini. He said Josko Guardiola. You might not realize it now, but Josko Guardiola will be as fierce as a Maldini. Just look at his tackles and the way he goes into them. He just goes. Josko. He said that Josko Guardiola hunts for blood when he's tackling. That's what he said. And we can see. I didn't quite agree with him back then, but now you can see those blood crunching, those hunger crunching tackles from Josko Guardiola. Fantastic. Bayaji says, go for the kill, just finish it off. Bayaji, still we have 25 minutes remaining, and the rain is pouring down. Three more goals from here. What about an Alvarez hat trick from here, or a Foden hat trick? He just needs one more goal. Seven goals, I mean, which means three more goals here, and Arsenal will be totally broken. Arsenal will be done. Bayaji says, yes, it was ball on hand, not hand on ball. Exactly, exactly. There was nothing intentional about it. Just go for the kill. Hunt Brighton now. Just go for it. Make Arsenal's goal difference irrelevant in this demolition. I've seen a lot of Arsenal fans actually. That was close from Anderson there. Again, Kyle Walker back to his old self. Manuel, the entire defensive line today has been superb. Okay, Walker with one or two mistakes. JSK is conceded 4. Apart from Walker's mistakes, I think our defense has been superb. But Walker attacking wise has been superb. I don't know why Walker doesn't see this often. I mean, do this often, to be honest. That's a throw in for City. JSK, I didn't get your last comment, actually. When you wrote conceded, I was like, did we concede a goal? Okay, we conceded a goal, okay. Ah, I have him in my fantasy team as well, bloody Kyle Walker. Aru says Nunes and Grealish coming on. That actually will be good to shore up the midfield, to be honest. Kyle Walker, Bernardo Silva, Nunes, Bernardo Silva again, Phil Foden, Rodri. Cheers says just kidding. Thank God, thanks God, thank God, JSK, because I'm just, I'm just looking at it. I mean, I'm like, how can Walker mess this up? Such a great night. Because it will, I mean, I don't mind us conceding, but the thing is, goal difference. Lead into the goal difference. That's the only thing. Because it will be a big psychological blow for Arsenal if we can score two more here without conceding. A lot of Arsenal fans were telling 2 nights back Chelsea demolition job, Arsenal in the title race box seat. Again, look at the tackle there from Josko Guardiola on Joao Pedro. Just look at that tackle there on Josko Guardiola. He's just bought Joao Pedro down. Did you guys see that tackle? What a crunching tackle that was. It wasn't a tackle, but that is excellent defending. Look at Josko Guardiola go across. That is how you defend. Wow. He just taken his body across and then he just shifted it out. Wow, JSK, I was just convinced. Okay, was the Guardiola one a penalty check? They're showing it here. I don't think exactly. I don't think it's a penalty. Joao Pedro was looking at that is never a penalty. Come on, that is never a penalty. Joao Pedro was looking at it exactly. Exactly. That would be one of the more disgraceful penalties if it was given. There was nothing in that. Absolutely nothing in that. Joao Pedro for me should be booked for simulation. Thank God it's not given. Exactly, JSK. Thank God it's not given. It's not a penalty. Joao Pedro was just looking at it. De Bruyne and Foden are off. Matthews, Nunes and Jack Grealish are on. I don't understand these substitutions. Not happy with this. I would have wanted Jeremy Doku to come and just finish Brighton off. Why is Doku not coming, especially when you need goals? Especially when Brighton are pressing high. Will never understand Pep. Why is Doku not coming? Bayaji says, why Rodri not sub? I don't know, Bayaji. Why Rodri not sub? Why Doku not coming? Strange substitutions. I didn't think that both Grealish and Nunez were necessary. Nunez was necessary maybe for KDB, but not Grealish. Come on, I would have subbed in Doku instead of Grealish. Now Grealish will slow the game down and stuff. Ah, that's hit hard, but I don't understand the substitutions from Pep. This is wonderful from Mateo Kovacic. They're excellent. They're Jack Grealish on the ball, slows it down. Josko Guardiola. Ah, I won't go in on Josko Guardiola much, but why the hell does he always get into keeper's hands? If Josko Guardiola can get his crossing right, he will be in the top three left backs in world football. Wow, Jeski, the way you created that thing that City conceded, effing Walker. I mean, I was like totally convinced. Especially when you said Walker, I thought he had a brain fade moment that he always has generally in matches. I mean, the complaint was about the pace of our backline, right? But now I think with Ake and Akanji playing, I think our backline is fast. Our backline is rapid, to be honest. I think against Madrid we missed Nathan Ake as well. Ruben Diaz, I think, is just too slow. Bayaji says we need a fresh Rodri for payback. Morgan Gibbs White. Long ranger, but yeah, man. Nottingham, we just play Nottingham Forest in 2 days' time. That's gonna be a tough match, to be honest. I think because Forest are literally fighting relegation. They were denied blatant penalties against Everton. I still don't know how they're not penalties, but I want us to score at least one more here so that it will bring that goal difference down to maybe an 8 or a 7, maybe a 7, I think. 7 goals behind with a game in hand means we can actually cover it up. Not in one game, but in general, I think we can cover it up. Especially looking at Arsenal's schedule. Bayaji says this game is 24 hours late. we are actually we're actually not even trying to attack now, just protect the 4 goal lead. Don't know why we are doing that. That is one pull back by Brighton player. It's a yellow card. I think it's a yellow card for Pascal Gross. It will be another statement by Aji if we can actually demolish Nottingham Forest. because quite a few Arsenal fans are telling the Forest Brighton game and Forest game, both away games, will actually be very difficult for us. We've got through one. Now we need to get through another one. Bernardo Silva. We are just playing the ball around. I mean, we are 4-0 up, but still I'm restless because I want more goals. Let us go for it. Bring Jeremy Doku on. I don't know why he's leaving both Bernardo Silva and Rodri on, actually, to be honest. It's an easy sub, Doku for Bernardo Silva, to be honest. Yes, I think he's heard us and is making a lot of wholesale changes. Gomez is coming on, Doku is coming on, Rico Lewis is coming on. Yes, Jeremy Doku for the last 13 minutes plus added time. Better late than never. Rico Lewis is coming on from Kyle for Kyle Walker, who's had an excellent night. Two assists and a clean sheet if someone's playing fantasy. Might be the man of the match, to be honest. Kyle Walker. In fact, they all are. The entire City backline is man of the match for me. By the way, what do you guys think about Sergio Gomez? It's an interesting take, actually. I know a lot of people in the City community want Gomez to be sold, but what do you guys think about Sergio Gomez? And not in a left back position. Don't think about him in a left back position, but in a midfield or a left wing position. For me, I think he has a great delivery. His attacking prowess, making runs into the box, is very good. He has come from La Masia. His touch in the midfield is very good as well. Sergio Gomez, his first touch is very good. He can play in tight spaces. His passing is good. I think the only thing is he's not a left back. Pep wanted to create another Zinchenko. Glad it didn't happen, but for me, Sergio Gomez in the midfield is fine, but are there any spaces in the midfield? That's the question, especially with Rico Lewis emerging. JSK's is loan. I mean, left wing for me, JSK. I think we should try him on the left wing for once, for a few games. Sergio Gomez, because he's very talented, is very good with left wing. Edison there drawing Brighton players over, and Aru says Sergio Gomez could be tried during the friendlies. Exactly, on the wing, especially because in the midfield there is actually no position, no space, especially with James McAtee returning. Perone, I don't know what we'll do with him. Maxima Perone. For me, I thought when Maximo Perone came, I thought he is our next Frankie de Jong. He plays like that. Not had a good loan spell at Las Palmas, Maximo Perone, but Maximo Perone is actually very good. What a switch that is. The Brighton player, I don't know who it is. That's a shit of a delivery. McAtee is coming back from loan. Maximo Parone is coming back from loan. And then Oscar Bob is already there. Micah Hamilton is another one who will be actually interesting. How Pep will go with him because Micah Hamilton looked very impressive in the Champions League game. I mean, it's not a small task. Whosoever it is against, it's not a small task, scoring a goal in a Champions League group game at 17 years of age. Micah Hamilton for me, He looked more developed than Jeremy Doku in the few minutes he's played in the Champions League game. JSK's Lucas Paqueta is needed. I think Bruno Guimaraes will come. Lucas Paqueta will surely come unless there's some betting charge in last minute, which is again revealed. Julian Laurels, a French journalist, actually he told that last season, if Lucas Paqueta comes to City, the league is over. He said that before the league started in August. He said if Paqueta comes, the league is done. There is something in Paqueta that the entire world still hasn't seen because West Ham at most is a team that sits back. I think we must remember that Lucas Paqueta before he joined West Ham had the highest expected assists in the entire entirety of Europe when he played in the French league and he didn't even play for PSG. So I think there is that sense of attacking prowess for Lucas Paqueta, but he's gone to West Ham and developed that defensive steel as well. So I think Paqueta is an all-round player. And he also wants to come to City. You've seen what he did in the West Ham game. He came and took blessings from Pep Guardiola and Juan Malilo, which became a controversy. Arus says maybe Micah will go on loan for a season or two, I think. Maybe that's not a good sign then because I don't know, we might be changing our policy, but I think if Pep really wants and believes that youth players can make it through, I do not think he sends them on loan. He brings them up within the team as well. So within the first team. So I don't think loan is that beneficial. I mean, just a mention of a couple of others. Tommy Doyle has been on loan as well at Wolves. He's been a starter in the later half of the season and has done well. News is that Wolves want to buy him permanently for around 6-7 million pounds. I think that will be a good profit for City. Bayaji says Spurs, please beat Arsenal. I mean, it was interesting with, I'll come to Spurs in a bit, Bayaji, but it was interesting actually with Unai Emery as well. A lot of people said that Unai Emery, the way he set up Aston Villa against City was disgraceful because Unai Emery rested everyone against City. And then he played his full team with Watkins, Leon Bailey against Arsenal, and and Aston Villa defeated Arsenal. Edison is out of his goal. Edison doing a crazy shithousery thing here. So I think, don't you think Spurs will do the same thing? Because whatever might happen, Spurs against Arsenal, it's a goal kick. Whatever might happen, Spurs against Arsenal. I mean, we play Spurs on Tuesday, right? I mean on the on midweek on midweek on the last weekend. So I think, don't you think Spurs will do us a favor? Don't you think Spurs will rest the players against us? Because the last thing Spurs would want is help Arsenal winning the title. Spurs will rest players for sure. I mean, every Spurs fan would agree with what I said. And Spurs will go full throttle against Arsenal. That too, it's at the home of Spurs. That will be interesting. That will be a very interesting game. And also, I think people are forgetting we even signed Savinho from Girona. Savinho will join us as well. I think he's our Riyad Mahrez replacement, to be honest. They score one more goal. Bayaji says Udogi out for the season. That's another worry, Bayaji, because that idiot Emerson Royal might start over there. I'm just worried about Emerson Royal, actually, to be honest. Emerson Royal, in one game of the season, he plays every season. He has that one game where he plays almost like a Cafu. You would think just hand him over the Ballon d'Or, but that is just one game. Rest all games is just shit. Now we have to see which Emerson Royal turns out against Arsenal. Aru says, I have a friend who supports Spurs and he does not want Arsenal to lift the PL. No, I mean, no Aston Villa fan wanted Arsenal to lift the PL just because of what they did to Unai Emery, and Unai Emery is their coach, and no Spurs fan would want that as well. I mean, literally, when Spurs last season were 2-0 up against us at the Etihad, if you watch some of the Spurs live watch along and stuff and read the comments there last season, every one of them wanted Spurs, were scolding Spurs and telling this is the game you win after doing shit all season and help Arsenal. They were like literally criticizing Spurs. GSK says, and who is Gundogan replacement? Just like Arush mentioned, that's the problem. No perfect replacement for Gundo. Still, maybe Bruno. I mean, I have thought about this, Arush. Actually, I think I've actually thought Frankie De Jong would be a perfect Gundogan replacement. But again, I think Frankie De Jong for me is more of an attack-minded midfielder. Frankie De Jong cannot do the defensive work that Gundo did. A lot of people forget about the defensive work that Gundogan did actually in that role. JSK says, but by the way, Kai Havertz's comeback is something we never expected. Arteta revived him well, but that also had to do with teams not understanding that thing what Kai Havertz played, especially false nine. He was shit in the midfield, but the false nine thing where he was making late runs, that is what, and teams will cover that up. Teams will look at the analysis and after this season and cover that up. Once that is identified, I think Kai Havertz doesn't give you anything. He's weak physically, even though he has a huge personality. Havertz is weak physically. Havertz doesn't provide you that tenacity in pressing. I think once you cover up that late runs of Havertz has not got much. Well used tactic from Arteta, but I think teams will identify it, to be honest. I think the best Gundogan replacement available is there are two players, to be honest, Douglas Luiz and Bruno Guimaraes. I think in an attacking sense and defensive sense, I think Bruno Guimaraes, I mean, the biggest asset of Gundogan was those late runs in the box. That is wonderful from Mateo Kovacic. That is well done by Matthews Nunes, to be honest. JSK says, and Chelsea fans got really mad when he celebrated the goal. JSK, who got mad last season when when Kevin De Bruyne at the Emirates, when he celebrated all those goals and he walked away like a boss. And when the crowd threw bottles at him, he dribbled a bottle and kicked the bottle. That's what frustrated Arsenal fans. I mean, City players over the years have given a lot to Arsenal fans. Enamel Adebayor, all this years ago, scored a goal against Arsenal, and when he came to us and he just rushed to the Arsenal, and he celebrated in front of the crowd. Rodri is another example. I think 2 3 seasons back, Rodri scored that late goal when Arsenal went down to 10 men and he celebrated it. I think City players have given a lot of shit to Arsenal fans, to be honest. JSK says Douglas Lou is impossible and reason is personal. And reason is personal why he will stay at Villa. Yes, JSK, yes, his girlfriend plays for. the the Villa women's team, right? We could arrange a contract at Man City's women's team for her. Not a problem. Where she can even lift trophies. Rico Lewis should be a goal. Ah, it's 5 minutes of added time. I think all of those arrangements can be made. I think JSK Man City team is just rocking in the WSL. If you if if we have to think about it in a much more futuristic way, maybe we could even guarantee a spot for Douglas Lewis kid in our academy. So I think everything could just be set. Just keep the clean sheet intact, guys. That's the only thing I ask for. That is excellent defending there from Nathan Ake. Very well read. Superbly read. Oh, by the way, Valentin Barco is starting for Brighton. I don't know how many of you have realized that, because Valentin Barco was someone we heavily pranked, and the thing was we almost got him. They say Valentin Barco is the next big fullback. They say Valentin Barco is the next Andy Robertson. They rate him so highly, but at the end, City did not want to go for him. I would prefer Bruno Guimaraes, to be honest. JSK says same reason why he rejected Arsenal. Arsenal is different, I think, JSK. Arsenal is different. We are different, I think. We are on another plane to Arsenal. Arsenal are a club who haven't won a trophy in 20 years, no Champions League. We are just different. Julian Alvarez, Jeremy Doku, Jeremy has to score. Ah, will there be a penalty check? I don't know. JSK says we don't need a left back. That is true. That is true, but not now. We actually scouted him last season at the start of last season. Doku has to finish that. If I'm being honest, Doku has to finish that. At the starting of last season, we scouted him, and anyway, I think he's an 18-year-old, 19-year-old fullback, Valentin Barco, I think. So I think he would have been okay with marginal game time and stuff. We could have groomed him. Pep would have groomed him. City just shut down sharp after the 75th minute. Maybe after all, Pep is not going after the goal difference. Jeremy Doku does extremely well there. Can we have one more chance? JSK's right back is our priority, but left back was a priority, JSK, at the beginning of last season, to be honest. And it's 4-0. Out of the 6 games remaining, one gone, five stand. In what had the potential to be a tough away game at Brighton. The press was intense from Brighton. Roberto De Zerbi, playing against Roberto De Zerbi has always been tough for City, not in terms of results maybe, but in terms of the overall structure of play, the way they pressed. We had very close results. I think it was just 1-0 or 2-1 or something in the return leg this season. So this was a very tough game, to be honest, and City navigated it well. In fact, City navigated it exceptionally well. 4-0 could have been 6-0, but for me, the entire Kyle Walker is the man of the match, but the entire defense can be the man of the match. The entire defense has been superb. They stood there like a rock. They had chances. Let's see exactly the goal difference. It's 8 goals difference, and City have a game in hand. 8 goals is the difference. We have 48 and Arsenal are 56. Eight goals is the difference, and I mean the entire Akanji, some of those recovery runs, Josko Guardiol, is blood crunching tackles. I mean everything is from start to finish has just been superb. It's just been fantastic. One of the best displays I've seen from City in a long while. See, look at that. Pep speaking to Valentin Barco there. We tracked him for a long, long time and we were close to signing him. At the last moment, he went to Brighton. We might get him when he's developed a little bit more, maybe. Might be. But again, excellent defensive performance. And on we march on in this title race. It was goosebumpsy, it was nervous before the start of the match. Phil Foden was excellent. Kevin De Bruyne played like King Kevin. Kevin De Bruyne played like how only he can play in a run in. That header was world class. That header was beyond world class from Kevin De Bruyne. Like I was telling, this is the best, most fluid performance I've seen from City in 2 years. That one-touch passing is just mesmeric. Alvarez dropping into the middle, Phil Foden, Kevin De Bruyne running beyond. Alvarez playing 1-2 with Phil Foden, and Kovacic getting involved, and Kevin De Bruyne making the third man run, and the press is over. Brighton's press is broken. And Pep Guardiola is still teaching Phil Foden there after scoring two goals. That is what it takes to be in this team. That winner's mentality. Constantly you need to be up there. Constantly you need to, refresh yourself. Constantly you need to evolve. The day you stop evolving, you're out. Cancelo didn't want to evolve, he's out. Arush says, bye bro, see you against Wolves. Traveling Sunday, so won't be available against Nottingham. Good night. Good night, Arush. And hopefully we get a good result against Nottingham Forest as well, because that will also be a tough game there, bloody fighting relegation. But it was fantastic to see Julian Alvarez. I mean, seeing performances like this, seeing nights like this, I actually wonder what would have happened to our team if Harry Kane, if we had signed Harry Kane. I was telling a friend that if we had got Harry Kane, we would have been pretty much untouchable in Europe. If we would have got Harry Kane and maybe another centre back like a Guardiola, we would have been untouchable in Europe. We would just have been untouchable all throughout. We would have won more Champions Leagues. I mean, Premier Leagues I can't say because we have been winning them. But we would have won more Champions Leagues for sure, and we would have just crushed the opponents. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys, for joining me. Thanks a lot, Bayaji, Gautam, JSK, uh, Arush, and Craig. Thanks a lot, everyone, for joining me here, and thanks a lot for all of your wonderful comments. An absolute pleasure, like always, watching the match with you. Thanks a lot for being in here, and see you all against Nottingham Forest. Good night and take care, guys. Lovely victory and lovely performance. Just really on my edge of the seat today. What a great way to get to sleep, right? What a great way to spend your night and just go into sleep like that. Wonderful, wonderful. There's not many other better feelings than this. See you all, guys, and take care.